Hello and welcome to this week's The Late Apex. We have a couple of big news stories tonight, including the news that iRacing is developing a console game. We'll be discussing what that could potentially entail. We'll be also discussing Rennsport finally coming to open beta, but also their maybe confusing, maybe worrisome pricing model, which may put many people off a sim, which has already had a very difficult start. We'll also be discussing the iRacing DDoS attacks, which have continued in recent times, Apex Racing TV, new Next Level Racing, rigs, and several others. So do keep tuned for all of those topics. But David, how are you this? It's not evening. I think I may have said evening earlier on, but it is firmly in the afternoon.
The early Apex.
The early Apex.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, lots to talk about. Some not so good, which is always a shame to have to discuss, but I'm well. How you doing?
I'm all right. I
Good.
am all right. I'm looking forward to endurance later on.
Yes.
I genuinely enjoy the Friday night commentaries that we got, and the endurance is maybe the best of all of them. And it's cool to see so many people take part. So that will be very good, and do tune in for that on Apex Racing TV later on. But let's discuss. Well, let's first discuss the iRacing arcade game, which is in development. iRacing have signed a deal with Original Fire Games, who also developed Circuit Superstars, which is a very popular top-down racing game, and they are in works to create a new, I think, PC and console
Yeah.
game, but the working title, excitingly, is iRacing Arcade, which maybe gives us the best indication of what it's going to try to achieve.
Yeah, I assume it's going to lean on their tracks and cars, which they have licensed. They have all these assets, and Circuit Superstars was a fantastically fun game. Like, we got to race against IRL lap times, like I think we even had creators like Jimmy Broadbent and stuff. You could race against their lap time at different tracks. If it's a fun game that's focused on fun first, no rating system, and we get to race around lots of tracks and cars we know and love in hell, throw up a multi-class IMSA event at a fun top-down event, not 40 minutes, throw in a pit stop, sure, but I think it'd be fun.
So you think it's going to be... So what format? Do you think it's going to be top-down? You mentioned top-down.
Yeah, I think
You
that
think it will
isometric diagonal.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so. They said based on the infrastructure of Circuit Superstars. I think it could be a lot of fun. Like, you know me, I'm full sim focused. If a game's going down the sim route, it better be a sim. But if they're going down the fun route, then do Forza Horizon. Go all that way.
Sure.
Don't lean this way and tell us it's a competitive online. No, it's not. Yeah, I think this will be fun. I still think the Porsche Cup car will be difficult to drive, but I think it will be fun.
Yeah, somehow it will be whatever it is.
Will we get rain?
One would
Full temper system.
I mean, yeah, it's sort of difficult because, like, obviously you got the World of Outlaws games, which was developed by Monster Games. So iRacing have these contracts with other developers. Of course, they actually own Monster Games, whereas I don't believe they've like purchased Original Fire Games or anything. They've just developing this project with them. So they've done sorts of this type of stuff before, where they've used their knowledge to implement that on another game, but this is still very different compared to what has come before. So yes, I'm fairly positive about this stuff, and it will launch sometime in 2025 for PC and console. But the fact they will have a career mode and in-depth gameplay elements,
I think it's win-win.
Yeah.
I think it will go down well. Can it succeed though? It's a tough industry out there in the gamey world, not the sim world. Yeah, they've got a monopoly on the sim world, but I don't know. Like, it's going to be tough out there for them. The word iRacing doesn't carry a lot of weight outside of a sim environment. But yeah, I'm positive as well. I think it'd be cool. I think it could be a nice break. I see myself streaming this on week 13, not actual iRacing. Put it that way.
Sure.
If I'm doing it for fun, I want to go fun, not somewhere in between. But obviously, we need to know more, right? We need to know what this is. We're talking about a game like it is circuit superstars and it is focused on fun, they could end up making this just a shrunk down version of iRacing that's cheaper and it's more focused on like lapping or I don't know. Like we don't know. They might just get rid of the rate and element and make it a massively multiplayer online fun version of iRacing. We really don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Whilst discussing that and discussing iRacing's other projects, I forgot. I don't think we made notes on this, but of course, Exocross released
Right.
a trailer. I don't think we discussed this last week. This
I don't think we did.
only got released 3 days ago. Although I feel like there's been other stuff. I really like the look of Exocross because don't you think it's basically halfway between iRacing and Trackmania?
With an element of Wipeout. Remember Wipeout back in the day?
No, I didn't go Wipeout.
Really? I'll bring another picture.
But it's, yeah, basically, if people aren't aware of Exocross, I imagine most people are, but it's basically some kind of off-road, kind of online driver versus driver racing game, but on fantasy circuits, on a fantasy planet as well. And it's got some very creative maps, many of which are shown off in this trailer. Anyone who's only listening, I do recommend checking out the iRacing YouTube to check it out.
Yeah,
I think
looks
it'll
fun.
be a lot of fun. I think it'll be a lot of
I
fun.
haven't tried it.
Because sometimes, and I think I had this thought as well fairly recently when it came to watching some Trackmania stuff, and sometimes racing circuits are really boring. And you see us try to sort of make fun of it in terms of like have as much fun on the circuits as we can. But fundamentally, it's like a circuit that you've seen a million times in real life, that you've driven in real life, on the sim a million times. And so the fact that it's like a proper creative sort of, you're interacting with the environment, sorts of maps instead, might be more fun than, I don't know, a dirt oval.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it looks good. It looks fun. The physics are meant to be good. The graphics are good. So, yeah, it is a very niche game. I don't know like how big that niche is, but yeah,
Yeah.
I need to play it.
Yeah.
I assume it works on rigs and everything. Sim, sorry.
I imagine it will do. I think it gets released fairly soon as well. I should have made notes on this, but I think the early access is like next month, I believe. So yeah, you can probably get your hands on it very, very
And there was
soon.
a previous game, right? There was an iRacing Exo, or was it just? Did they start without them, then iRacing got involved?
I think they started without them and then iRacing.
Okay,
I believe.
Because I remember there was something before all of this, but yeah, okay, so it never came to fruition.
So yes, iRacing with many projects going on. MBSF1, is it 10 p.m. on a Friday already? No, it is not. However, we have Apex Racing League Endurance later on, so that is why we are starting a bit earlier. Because if we started after that, then we would be going on beyond midnight. So, next topic, and this is, I thought, was going to be the biggest topic, just because I think we both have a fair amount to say on it. At least I do. Rennsport have finally released their open beta. We knew this was coming last week. We mentioned that the open beta was coming, and Nords was coming as well. Nords was a big surprise. This is an overdue release. We're not quite sure why the open beta took this long to be released, but it is now here, and you can freely download Rennsport now. I think it's from Epic Games.
Only
download it from
Epic,
there. They did mention that they are working on getting it from Steam. Although I think Lewis was saying the other day that he got it from Steam originally, so maybe it was on there and then it wasn't on there, but it will eventually be added back. Got released on Wednesday. But I think the big news, in terms of what we didn't know before, was the pricing model, because they have implemented the Founders Packs, and now these range from €20 to €70, and they include various items. What do you think about these item packs?
Well, does it tell us the purchasing model going forward? Because this is almost like an early access payment model, like to get yourself a couple of tokens for the future, drive around the Nordschleife, but what does it get you in a year's time when they finally bring 4 more tracks? Like, this is what I'm confused about. Like, are we if I buy the diamond, am I guaranteed everything for life, or is that not because they tell me, oh, you get 2 tokens, dynamic livery, um, Nordschleife, and NFT token in my
Well,
game.
to be specific, the Diamond Founders Pack, which is worth €70, you get a Porsche GT3 R Rennsport with exclusive even. That car is basically like a
Modded
OP
version, yeah.
Porsche GT3. Nordschleifer, Diamond Dynamic Livery, Platinum Livery, 2 car purchase tokens, so you can buy 2 cars basically. Gold, Platinum, and Diamond Founders Pack badges, and your name on a racetrack.
That's what I mean. So when 4 more tracks drop, do I get them for free or do I pony up?
Um, I know. I think if a new track is released, you have to buy it separately.
Yikes! But what about my diamond token that I
No,
have?
but that's only for
Yeah, it's madness then.
yeah.
So we still don't know their pricing model.
It's like I'm quite disappointed by this because it seemed like they were the reception has been so negative when it comes to this sorts of even type of stuff where you're purchasing specific cars and
Yeah.
whatever in game. People really don't like that, and so you'd think that they would take that feedback on board and go, all right, we're not going to go down that route. We're just going to go for maybe like an iRacing model, maybe free to play, or like a race room model.
Race room, yeah. I think that
Um,
would have been the best choice.
but unfortunately, they're still like pushing this even stuff, and I just think the sim racing community have wholeheartedly rejected this idea, and all this um, sorts of founders pack badges and evens. It's all speculative stuff. It's
Yeah.
stuff that I should buy this now because in 3 years' time it's going to be worth way more. It's like an investment.
Yeah. They
But
think
no
it
one
is.
thinks it's going to go up in value. It's worthless now, and no one thinks it's going to be worth anything in the
So yes,
future.
beyond
And so no
worthless.
one's going to buy it now. So
I don't even like the car tokens. People keep talking about car tokens. It's a bad thing in my eyes. Commit. Tell me, what deals have you got in the horizon? Are we talking McLarens? Are we talking like what Ferraris? What? What are you talking about?
sure.
What if you only drop a Mazda and some sort of modded Praga? Like, what if I'm forced to waste my tokens on nothing? Like again, they have no value because we're hoping Rennsport releases something I like.
Sure.
So I find that
I guess one side of it is that it becomes a bit of a currency in that sense where, if you, because they mentioned something about as well, getting like XP points now. So if you do a certain amount of races, you can earn stuff. So maybe if you do, I don't know, 10,000 miles, you get a track token as well. And then that gets added to your wallet. And it's all sorts of currency within the game. Maybe that's what they're trying to push. But I agree in terms of it's a bit iffy.
what
doing
I
that stuff.
wanted from them was none of this. Like anyone's ever talking about is these founders packs. The 1.9 update was a letdown. It was what day-night cycle at 2 tracks,
VR.
VR,
Beta VR, like very early stages.
so an open access early game with an open access early VR.
Sure.
Day-night cycle at 2 other tracks, and what else fundamentally changed on the sim? Are they reporting?
Well, they mentioned the XP system. They've reworked a bit the ranking system, where rather they seem to have gone towards the LMU route a bit, where they've got like bronze, silver, gold, and then they got like different elite levels as well.
Ah, okay.
Well, of course, no one actually drives online, so it's all a bit hypothetical.
I wanted more focus from them. I want to know what this game is. Like, if are they talking GT3s is their pinnacle? Because then it has to go up against ACC. Are they saying, oh yeah, Mazdas, TCRs, GT4s, LMDHs, we're going to do it all? iRacing. Like, what? Who are they fighting? Are you? And then they got the whole track creator side. Are you fighting AC now? Like, what? What are you focusing on? Like, I want to know. They didn't announce their focus. They announced less focus.
But I think if anything, they've still. I think the focus initially was this whole sorts of a different business model for sim racing games in terms of
Mhm.
the trading, in terms of the exclusivity when it comes to car ownership,
Mhm.
and I think they're still trying to push that. So I think their response to that would still be, it's evens. and stuff like that.
They ain't
Because,
selling
yeah,
it very well then.
yeah, and it doesn't seem to be popular either. Two new GT4s as well, BMW and Audi GT4s.
Are they free or how does this all work?
Oh, so they are free. And this is something as well that they mentioned, that they want to make well, maybe not most of the content, but a lot of the content free. And I think the existing tracks will stay free. But they're saying for the premium content, like, you can buy extra tracks, extra cars. So it's, I guess, a little bit like Racing Room again, albeit Racing Room is very limited when it comes to the free content. But yeah, they're saying that you're gonna have to buy the premium content, i.e. Nordschleife. So
Yeah, I say I wanted their announcement to be about focus and getting bums in seats. They need numbers right now. You know, they've been strong enough to have this free game, like, and this was a good idea, but I don't know, like their what's the word? Their community of active users is so small. Launching this, that just doesn't make sense to me. 2% of your small audience are going to get this, and that just doesn't get you over any line. Like, you're now going to need to announce something else, like a DLC pack or something. I just wish it was a bit more focus, because I want competitive sim racing titles. I want more. I don't want less. But I don't see how this gets there. I just don't.
Frederick Schwartz in chats. Looking at the interactions on the Rennsport Discord, it's getting more and more of a meme for me. I'm not exactly sure exactly what you mean there, Frederick. Feel free to expand. But yeah, like, from what I've seen, it's usually quite a negative discourse whenever Rennsport announce something. It's usually I usually go straight to the emojis to see what the general discourse
Same.
is on that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if yeah, Freddie, have you seen anything besides that? Also, 400 HP next gen, mentioning that iRacing is making the new NASCAR game, which is great because the last 10 years of NASCAR console has been almost worthless. I very much agree. Of course, technically that is Monster Games developing that iRacing own Monster Games, but yeah, that should take it up to a new level when it comes to that stuff. I think the first one is being released next year. No, 2026. I think the first one is being released. I might be wrong on that one though.
Thomas Harrison Lord in chat. He's Traction, right?
Oh yeah.
He's asking, is time running out for Rennsport to convince people? Quite possibly. Yeah,
I think it may have. I don't know. It's just been so negative for like the last year. I don't think much has changed. But what this worries me, like with this pricing announcement, is just that it doesn't seem like they've learned anything.
Yeah,
that they're not changing course.
They seem so. They know people wanting triples, and they announce VR.
Sure.
They know people. They do not want this NFT even rubbish, and they double down. They should I agree with their esport focus with ESR1? No. Was it a selling point? Well, yeah. Like, if they'd have come in top down and been like, look, you now get the opportunity to race like the pros and put a series around it. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I have the right answers. I'm just saying I'd rather them focus on a chance than this. Like, I just don't know what this is. Everything seems to rub people the wrong way. That seems to be the Rennsport way. I mean, granted, on Twitter they get a lot of interactions because they won't stop talking about all the things we don't want to talk about.
Sure.
1.9's dropped. Triples? No, VR. Like, when we didn't ask you that we've been begging for triples and you give us VR.
Yep.
But I don't know. Perhaps they're onto something. I have no idea. I'm completely lost with it.
Yeah.
I find it very confusing. I have this installed. Like, I follow all the SLR1 races, right? I'm a full-time sim racing tutor. Like, I should be a good fit for this. And I don't know what
you're gonna buy the $20, the €20 pack to get Nords. Friends.
No.
That's what I would say. Actually, maybe we've misled people. Is that actually the €20 one isn't too bad? Well, I mean, considering that this is a open beta, maybe it is bad value, but it includes one car purchase token and and Nords. So that's not too bad.
You're really selling it, Sam.
Well, I'm saying it's about the same as iRacing would charge, right? But obviously, iRacing is actually
has a core audience, the track's
has
used,
everything else.
has NEC.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little difference.
Yeah, a little bit different. Freddie as well mentioning that people basically getting more and more negative in the Rennsport Discord. Maybe I need to watch that a bit more often. Actually, I don't usually tune in on that a bit more, but if it's entertaining, then I might do. And yeah, ESLR1 is quite low watchers because on YouTube, uh, a couple of rounds ago, it got less views than what our stream on the TV channel did for
Bosh.
endurance. So that sort of
Bosh.
demonstrates it's not very popular.
I appreciate the work they do. I like watching the best of the best compete in anything like us, and obviously being Apex like us, rooting for the guys and everything. But yeah, I can get why other people are completely disinterested by now.
Yes. Let's next discuss iRacing DDoS. So we did
Yikes.
get a comment from Interesting Box saying thoughts about the SFL race of yesterday. Oh yes, there was that was one of the races which was impacted. Fortunately, I think out of say 24 drivers, I think 21 of them were all right. But yeah, basically I think around 8 o'clock was just when qualifying was starting. iRacing had a big basically downtime and no one could enter the servers, and that continued for many hours.
Actually, that's not a bad shout for the endurance to get people early. Second it drops to get registered.
Unfortunately, practice starts at 5, but yeah, I might put out another saying that.
Yeah, obviously iRacing DDoS has been a nightmare. So it happened. Was it the first time when it happened at the Daytona 24? Or had it already been a problem? I'm confused now. Because I woke up at 6 in the morning. So this is where my anger comes from. I do not like waking up at 6 in the morning for anything. And I'm in the rig, I'm practicing Q laps. My first indication that something was wrong is I went to register for a practice session to practice Q. It took ages to get into it. I finally did get into it. And then I thought, oh, okay, it's time to register the team. And the register button just never came up. And at first I was like, it's just iRacing being slow. Like
So you couldn't even register. Okay, right.
Couldn't even register the team. It never went green. There were no drivers. Then the forum started to pick up. Then the Discord started to pick up. Then I'm getting DMs. Basically, and was competing as well. So I'm like, have you been able to register your team? He's like, nope. And then we started realizing about the DDoS. And then it went quiet, hoping everything had been fixed. And the next split for the Daytona 24, which actually did go ahead, they did DDoS it because it took an hour and 10 minutes to go from the, it tells you your server's ready, hit join, and you're in the car. People were clicking it, and it took an hour and 10 minutes to get in.
Sure.
So you can imagine how many drivers weren't gridded.
Well, yeah, surely it was like halfway through the race, right? Before
It was 24 hours. No, hour.
Sorry, but like
the second registration for it took an hour to get in.
Okay.
Second
right,
time split.
sure.
So some people on the forums like, I've just come back to my rig, noticed there's a green join button. I clicked it, and I'm 90 laps down.
Sure.
Thanks, iRacing.
Yeah.
No, people didn't know ramifications of what was happening at this point. But yeah, there was a post from iRacing. What's his name? Not Steve Myers. The other
Kevin, is it?
No, the other head guy. Whatever, head iRacing guy. Name's just got out of my head. Reminding whoever the attacker is that this is a federal crime. They're taking it seriously. Greg West, thank you. I think this was more of a, we know you're reading this, and we would like to remind you that this isn't fun and games. We are taking this like, I don't think the person realized, like, iRacing's going to write down how much this has cost them in lost revenue. The number's going to be huge. If you start getting into the 400 or 500 grands, the crime gets big. You might think, a slap on the wrist first time. No. Buy for 10 years. If it's a lot of money, you go away. That's unfortunately the way the law works. It's based around money.
Sure.
So it was a bit of a scare. Now the upsetting thing is they had announced after the Daytona DDoSes that they've put mitigations in place. Almost selling us like, we've got this, guys. We fixed it. And then unfortunately, Steve Myers, the other head guy, was on holiday, and he tweets late last night talking about his holiday. But obviously, it was like 20 minutes into the DDoS.
Sure, yeah.
So he had so many replies. I feel sorry for the guy because he probably hadn't opened Twitter to read it. He just opened Twitter to tweet. It's a big difference. Yeah. But Spa 24?
Yeah, Spa 24 is coming up, and that is worrying.
Really worrying.
Yes. That's next week again.
Next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend. Well, we should mention that Apex Racing Academy is doing a Spa offer. So if you want to get free GT3 sets for any of the GT3 cars which are taking part in the Spa 24, you should go over to apexracingac.com/Spa 2024. I think if we go there, Apex Racing, if you just go to Apex Racing AC, then you will be able to get the free Spa setups up at the top of the screen. And then you've also got a track guide as well from Jamie Fluke, which you will get emailed that if you just put your email in there. So there you go. Should be very good.
Interesting box in chat is saying one guy DDoSed World of Warcraft in 2018 and he got 1.5 years in prison.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a serious deal. Obviously, I've heard all the rumours that it's some Rennsport fan. The reason I don't believe that is there's no Rennsport fans. All right, moving on.
There's so many different jokes you can make out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's a shame to see. We really need to. We need a commitment from. I get it's not iRacing's fault, but we are paying iRacing. That's the fact. That's the fact of the matter. We're paying iRacing.
Yeah, I mean when I know us iRacers when the virtual Le Mans went down, we were like, oh, Factor 2 sucks.
Yep.
Rubbish game. Now that's happened to us. We shouldn't be too. Oh no! It's not iRacing's fault.
Correct.
So yeah, you do need.
And there were more eyes on that race than your average race that's being DDoSed in iRacing. So. I heard another rumor that it's all these big streamers that are now, like XQC and that lot, that are playing iRacing, and it's bringing more attention to the game. And again, I don't believe those either. We've had large streamers on before. I don't know. We just need a commitment from, because even I've gone back and forth the last 24 hours whether I'm cancelling my entry into Spa, because I'm not, all the prep and planning the weekend and stuff. For me, it's a big deal, and I've just gone through this a week ago.
Sure.
Where,
yeah.
Well,
if you just do no prep though, just do it. And now it's Spa. You know Spa. You race there every other week, so just do no prep. Turn up, have some lunch.
Then we have a different problem. I've binned it. Oh, similar to a DDoS, I'm out.
Sure.
No, for me it's just a planning the weekend. I'd rather commit to see family than. I don't know. I don't like getting up at 6 in the morning, mate.
Sure.
It really bothers me.
Lasse Sorensen. Good to see you around, Lasse. Sorry for coming late, but have you been looking at the Rennsport open beta arcade game?
Arcade game.
Which is a bit harsh, Lasse, but we have already talked about that. Yes, we talked about it in some depth.
And iRacing Arcade.
I wasn't sure if Lasse was getting confused.
Correct,
yeah. But you've managed to merge all the topics into one sentence, Lasse. So
because we're talking about iRacing Arcade and the Rennsport Open Beta.
Yeah, iRacing coming to consoles in a way.
Right. A wheel I really want to talk about. I'm bumping it up the list.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'll let you view it on your screen.
Oh, wow, I've just seen the price tag.
Yeah, but this isn't any old wheel. This is using...
It looks like it.
Genuine Cosworth part. I mean, this is the wheel I want. So I think I might run a donation goal. Yeah. So this company's partnered with Cosworth. It's made with all genuine parts. Yeah. I mean, I had to. I'm sorry. I had to put it up there. Are you ordering it?
Yeah, I'm buying $250,000 worth.
Why are you buying 37?
Yeah, I'm buying 37.
Do you know what I guarantee? They haven't made 37. Yeah, no, I just thought it was a standout. This is one of my favourite wheels in the sim to use. I think all wheels converge around this design with the slim top, the open rear. I think all wheels evolve to this point where they end up very similar to this design, and I just think it's the lead-in design. to be honest.
S-
So
So I think you may have mentioned it before, but I was getting distracted by pressing the plus button lots. What car is this used at the moment? Is it the P2?
yes,
Yeah,
and is it the older IndyCar? Maybe I forget what it's in.
maybe the IR18.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
maybe. Definitely the LMP2. But yeah, I just love this Wirral in the sim.
Does look very nice.
So yeah,
But
one
yeah, they
day.
have released. I feel like we've had Cosworth wheels
Yeah.
released as well before for even more money, like 10 grand. I think before. I think when I went to Autosport last year, I think they had one on show. But yeah, they're usually just a limited edition, and that one will be obviously, as you say, there won't be 37 of them in existence. But yeah, it does look very nice. Does look very nice.
Yeah, definitely. You found a rig?
I found a rig. I'm just looking at as well at the chats as well. But yes, um, yes, rig. Next level racing Formula Lite Pro rig has been.
A Lite Pro. We're really using those keywords in the opposite end of the spectrum. Lite, you know.
It's the best of the bad, I guess that means. So this is a new rig that Next Level Racing
Come
have
on.
released.
It's a garden chair with a seat strapped to it and you lean backwards.
Exactly, that's the idea. So it
Uh,
means that you can get it into
Oh.
a little thing like that.
Is he still in that, by the way? Is he okay?
See if you can see any blood trails coming from it. I'll tell you.
Mate, I've seen. I think my parents have this in the garage, mate. It's just the garden chair that's old and the cloth's missing.
So the idea is that it's meant to be very space saving, so that you can basically like assemble it.
Oh, I see it's space saving. Yeah. There is no thing to it. That's why.
It can support up to 10 Newton meter wheelbases.
These pairs should try using a screen, see if they're quicker, rather than just hoping that their lines are good. I don't know, man. I get it's dismantleable. Did she do well? Nah, they should get screens, at least a screen. I know, I'm impressed that the DD can be folded. By the way, that isn't a DD, surely.
I think that is a DD, yeah. But
Come
yeah,
on,
it's
if I
up to
put a
10
VRS DD
meters.
on that, up to 10. I was going to say, the rig will fall over.
Yeah.
And she picked up effortlessly. Have you ever tried lifting a DD?
They're
They're heavy.
Yeah,
Really heavy. You don't just wander, oh, look at this garden chair.
Sure, no, that's a good point, yeah. So it is worth...
Where's all the cables? Wait. It's a really clean looking rig, right? Yeah, okay. It's clean. Where's the PC? So hold on. She dragged that. No, I want to see this again. She dragged it into the living room, right? And happy days, right? Where's the PC? Well, granted, there's no screen. She's using the force. I get it. She's just practicing her line. Oh, he's got a screen.
He's got a screen.
Yeah, but then where's
He's
the
a
PC?
pro.
I'm back. Like, there's no PC. There's no wires, man. This is. So it can only be as portable as the PC. If you have a PC in your middle of the living room floor, then you might as well leave a rig
I don't know.
there.
If you got some, I'm going to try to defend it here. If you got some if you got a PC and I don't, it would be a mare because you'd have to unplug everything from the PC every time you used it. I mean, I'm very skeptical of these things. I remember and I know it's got a lot of fans, and I think you might be a fan as well of it, the coffee table.
Coffee racer thing. Yeah.
I'm very skeptical of anything like that because, and maybe it's just the way that the household that I was brought up in, but something that's meant to be able to be assembled and disassembled will never be assembled and it will just be assembled and then you'll just leave it there, push it to the side of the room.
I get you.
But it takes effort to do that stuff, and maybe it's just because I'm not organised, but I just wouldn't have the
It's like the
discipline to reassemble it.
the person with a pool table that can also be a ping pong and others. It's always just a pool table.
Yeah.
They don't even have the other bits anymore.
Yeah.
Been cheaper just to buy a pool table.
Yeah, they lost one of the balls one time. And they're like, can't be bothered. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a garden chair. with a couple of straps, and then the poor guy who went to make the video had to edit out the PC and the
It's a
monitor.
very good
Most of
video.
it. It is a good video.
Yeah.
It's a really good video. It's just missing a few key elements.
£279, €300, $300. If you
No.
want to buy it.
No.
I think that is everything to do with sim racing news for today. So
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say on the DDoS. From iRacing, we need a statement of. They need to come out and just tell us what the deal is. Last time they're like, oh, okay, we've mitigated it, so this isn't going to be a problem anymore. And then it happens. They cannot just say that again. Oh, cool. Don't worry, we've put a little patch on. Like, nothing's going to ever happen like that again. Now, I get it's not their fault, but then just need to be upfront and honest with us. Like, is it something they're working towards? Is it something they can mitigate with their infrastructure? What's the plan for Spa 24? If it gets cancelled, are we going to run another one? Like, be a bit more... they just need a transparent plan now. That's what I need from them,
Sure.
Ideally.
Well, it'll be nice to go back to 2019 when all the special events, no one thought that they'd ever work.
Correct.
Go into
Correct.
it. And you guys can experience what it was like for those torturous years when you'd waste so much time practicing.
Yeah, I remember.
Apex Racing team. Next up, so this is our esports professional team. Of course, they took part in ESL R1, the final drivers round. That was round 4 of the championship. And it was, I think we discussed this last time, it wasn't the best evening ever. Kev had some difficulties. Johan got very unlucky. Jamie had an alright time. And Jimmy, got knocked out in the knockout rounds. However, after all of that, Kev still qualifies. He finished in 6th position in the points. Now, he was 2nd in the points going into the final round. He really wanted to go in top, and it will matter when it comes to the land because it's like a soft reset where the higher up you are, you do get more points. But it's still a very, very good effort from Kev to be up there in 6th place.
Because he wasn't just 2nd, he had qualified 2nd as... No, pole. Wait, was he 1st or 2nd heading into the corner? I think he was pole. Anyway, yeah, not only was he 2nd, he got taken out in the knockout round, which really affected it. Obviously, still great to see him qualify.
Johan and Jamie are in purgatory, so they will do a 1-race shootout against 10 other drivers, and whoever finishes in the top 3 of those drivers will go into the proper drivers.
What? Sorry, 1 race with all the drivers, not 2 races or 3, just...
One race with the drivers from 10th to 21st.
Wow.
Or 22nd, sorry.
Top 3 needed?
Top 3.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that race.
Yeah.
Lob, mate.
Well, yeah.
Lob.
I mean, what have you got? Well, you could get a penalty, I guess, for the team championship the next day, but I don't think you would. I think it'd just be...
Lob.
Yeah. So that's going to be under a lot of pressure. If one of them can get through, that would be a monumental effort. And of course, if you get into the top 12, you're guaranteed a decent amount of prize money as well. So really important. Good effort from Johan and Jamie to comfortably make it in. They were both very consistent throughout the season.
I've just read about Pete. I didn't know.
Yeah, so Pete Berryman, there was a good onboard video actually on the Apex Racing Instagram, Apex Racing team Instagram. We may as well share that whilst we talk about him. But he was meant to be racing at Long Beach into
T1, where we'll reach our maximum speed.
Actually, let's turn down the volume as well. But he was meant to be taking part at Long Beach in the Indycar for the Pro Series qualifiers, where the top 30 drivers get into the proper Pro Series. Unfortunately, the DDoS attacks meant that no race could go ahead. It was meant to start, I think, at 1 in the morning, but iRacing was still down at the time. I think it was down till about 4 in the morning. So that was no opportunity for Pete to take part in that. And yeah, that race will, I guess, be postponed.
They mentioned they're going to sort out what they did talk about it in the forum, but no conclusive answer yet.
Shame, because that should be a very fun series to watch. Apex Racing League GT3 trophy entries are back open. So if you want to sign up for Apex Racing League GT3 trophy, and we have had a few extra signups, you can do. Go to apexracingleague.com, where you can also sign up to Porsche Cup Super Formula Lights, which started in the last couple of days, plus also Abruzzi ARL Endurance, which has round 2 tonight at Spa. You can still sign up for all of those championships. And
Yeah,
all
I'm
those
looking forward
championships
to
as
it.
well are fairly early in the season, so it is certainly worth registering.
And I posted on the forums and said, look, guys, don't DDoS tonight.
Oh yeah, like, come on guys, like,
Yeah, I get
know,
your
fun and
mission.
games.
Yeah.
I'm up for a laugh,
But not
like
tonight.
anyone else. But let's be serious for a moment. Yeah, let's
Not tonight.
just take it easy. So a couple of moments from Apex Racing TV. This is unfortunately a crash between teammates.
That's D2D on D2D action.
Bobby Charles unfortunately being put into the wall by his GCD teammates,
Oh, I was drinking. That was brilliant. Can I see that again?
and that was in the Rick Motek World
We
Challenge.
talked about some of the looseness he was showing earlier. That's
Oh,
D2D
my
on
life.
D2D
Oh.
action.
Oh
As that
my.
was Chris
And that
Turner.
Lambo driver is still part of the team.
I haven't heard. This happened on Monday.
That was
So-
brilliant.
Poor Bobby Charles there. Have you ever crashed into a teammate?
Have I ever crashed into it? Oh. Yeah. I wiped out TK at Long Beach.
In what car?
LMP2.
Okay, yeah,
Permadeath.
sure. He's still speaking.
Oh,
to you, at
and
least.
at Daytona. I
Aye.
killed him. I locked up the RSR's brakes. The first horseshoe. I was like, no. And you know that feeling you get
Yeah.
where you're now pressing
Just
the
a
brake,
passenger.
and bosh, the only car just destroyed him.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's not think about any more of these.
This was just a real
I'm
nice
a
save
fan.
at
Alexander?
Daytona.
Oh, I remember this.
Anyone else want to put up any? Oh, huge slide! What a save! Real nice
What
stuff
a
there from Joel
save.
Klein.
I don't. Unfortunately, he did end up dying to a very
That
similar
is- that's
incident.
going,
I
monthly
think.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Because yeah, you
For
mentioned that
actions
he
that
had
you will
no
commit.
rear wing.
Yeah, I think he was running the old
many movers and shakes
5.7 or
is that?
whatever. But he came in a bit hot.
Oh, here we go. It might be this. No, it was
No, instantly.
the back.
who?
The car. No, I'm not sure. But yeah, he died in the end.
I think he did. Yeah, I think out of the bus stop he just slammed the wall. Permadeath.
Interesting book saying I had a rig like that when talking about the Next Level Racing Formula Pro Lite rig. I kept the cables plugged every time I put the rig away. If you have some long cables, it's doable. Yeah, so yeah, it's the unplugging and the replugging.
I think. Yeah, he's right. That works. And Freddie's point about moving the PC, but it's a niche on top of a niche. Like you would want a rig like this to be
So much effort.
mass for the sim racers.
And if it takes even if it just takes 5 minutes to set up, that's enough. Because a lot of people only have an hour to be able to go on the
Yeah.
rig for. So if you're losing 5 minutes either side of that, having to put away the rig,
Yeah.
It's pretty bad news for people. So yeah, I'm skeptical of that one. That's all that we had notes on. Anything else you want to mention?
No, obviously, let's see how the DDoS everything affects. I'm excited for iRacing Arcade. Rennsport need to. I've said everything I need to say. I don't know what to say because their latest version didn't do anything for me. You know, they all of their talk ended up being about the tokens anyway. So, yeah, let's see what this week brings. Obviously, I'm really looking forward to the endurance race tonight. And yeah, 24-hour car choice. I haven't tested or done a lap, but my brain is now screaming Lamborghini. Unless you struggle in the rain, then the Audi.
Don't think the weather forecast has been announced yet, has it? For Spa?
Don't think so. I imagine there will be rain.
It will be with rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. I mean, I know we're quite boring with ARL. How so far all our potentially wet weather races have been bone dry, but it's realistic.
What's the endurance tonight?
Bone dry.
Rainy.
0%.
Rainy.
0%.
This guy.
0% rain. Because it's realistic. Don't rain in Spa in July, seemingly.
Well, I'm going to check. If it ever has in the past, we're changing it.
Well, we can look at the weather now. Spa.
Be raining.
Oh, actually, you know what? It's not exactly a desert out there, is it? A little bit of rain. Oh, I mean, to be fair, it's got a rain cloud there. 19% chance of rain is where it peaks.
Hey, you heard it from Sam. He's going to put 19% chance today.
No. But yeah, no rain. No rain for Spa.
That's what I was thinking. Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, it's a good choice at Spa. It's a little bit more. It is definitely more tricky in the wet than the aforementioned two cars. Like if you struggle in the rain, then you're going to really struggle in the Ferrari because it's quite snappy. The Audi and the Porsche are easy in the rain. I think the Porsche is almost too easy, to be honest. Just, I think it's better in the wet. Porsche better in the wet than the BMWs in the dry, to be honest. If I'm being honest. But yeah, no, good week. Looking forward to the see what comes of all this DDoS stuff and all the new games on the horizon, and obviously the endurance tonight.
Yes. Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone, and we'll be back next week for another episode of the late Apex. But from me and David, we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll see you next time.